Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Wednesday, the 4th of January. I'm Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. All right, coming up, what we got? Dundalk's back. So, second day of January for bets for the channel. First day of the week, and we are back with Dundalk. We've had a Dundalk sabbatical for a couple of weeks. I think it's fair to say we are going to try our luck at Dundalk for Wednesday. So I've done it as £25 days with a stake and a quarter. Probably should have been a full stake, and I've done a stake and a quarter. I've pushed it a little bit for Dundalk. 4 bets. It's 3 lucky 15s and 1 combination bet, but 2 lucky 15s and a combination at Dundalk. So I've only got 1 lucky 15. That is my 4 horses that are not at Dundalk. So 2 Newcastle, 1 Hereford, and 1 at Kempton. So yeah, I've only found 1 at Kempton I liked. I normally would find a few more there, but just the 1 at Kempton. So first race is 12.50 Newcastle. That is what we've got. So that's coming up. Before we do that, we'll do the review of Sunday, which was the last day that we did selections for the channel. And before we do that, definitely want to quickly mention the darts. So I know not everyone's into it, but the darts final, if you watch that, absolutely cracking match. Michael Smith, new world champion, finally won. Got beaten in 2 finals. And yeah, I was fully thinking Van Gerwen was going to do him in the final. But yeah, Smith, great battle. There was one particular leg, if you didn't see it, where they were both on for a 9 dart finish and Van Gerwen missed the double, Smith hit the double. There used to be a pretty bad history of if you hit a 9 dart finish in a match, you go on to lose the match. But not so much anymore, and certainly not today. So well done, Michael Smith. Cracking match. And what we can say is that our man Stephen Bunting got beaten by the eventual winner. So no bad there. No bad egg there. But clearly we didn't get much cash for it, did we? All right. So review of Sunday. Let's breeze through this quite quick. It was one of them that it ended last week really of just being a Sky Bet preferable week, which we haven't had for ages, and not certainly like I literally can't remember a week like that where it just one big bet and then another bets and it was, if you were Sky Bet, you came out really nicely ahead for the week, about 106 ahead I got it for last week. If you were not Sky Bet, I haven't worked it out properly, but I think it was something like 120 loss. So it was a really bad variant between Sky and not Sky. So I'm feeling for anyone who wasn't using a Sky account last week, because it would feel very different to if you were using a Sky account. So the channel had last Sunday as 30 on 23.50 back, but again a lot of that was Sky beneficial for 1 extra place. So what we really want is we want those nice bets where we have lots of winners, and it don't matter who you're on with, but it does matter if you've got bog, because you might get better off. But what I am ultimately trying, and what I will always say, if you are using Sky for this channel, we take the price. So I take the price, so I don't get SP for what I'm doing on the channel. I don't get bog and I don't get SP. I take the price because I believe more of my horses will get backed in than drift overall, and therefore it's more advantageous if you're Sky to take the price. So Sunday, let's breeze through it. As I said, Stop and Search was the only one that ran a decent race. It was placed. That was it. So there wasn't much back on bet 1. Bet 2, this is the one that made the difference. Arthur was 5th, paid out for Sky. Disappointing, and then non-runner, and then Legacy of Dreams ran a decent enough race and was placed. So for Sky, you got the place double, which that place double, and the place double in Lucky 15 with a non-runner. If you were non-Sky, all you got was the non-runner with the place. So it made a bit of a difference because of the prices. So that was impactful there. Itchy Feet won out the placings, unfortunately. That was, I said it was risky. It didn't run well. Didn't get it right in the 155 at Cheltenham, and then the 245 Musselburgh. There is no doubt that place. So it was a place single, close to being a place double, which would have been better, certainly. And then Southwell, disappointing. We had Luxy Lou was the only one that placed. That was it. So channel 30 on 23.50 back. But yeah, massive variance last week with Sky. So this week, positive vibes for all accounts. Because it's the thing is, as I've said, long term you'll win on the channel. But then people have a short-term memory. I talk about it a lot. It's recency bias. People would think, Flat Cat Callum, it's the channel where if you're not Sky, you don't win. If you've watched my review video, I think hopefully I've demonstrated and proved that anyone can win with the channel, and it depends on how you want to do the bets. I'm not necessarily subscribing to say, just back all the horses over 22 to 1 or more or whatever it was, or the biggest price. But you can't go too wrong with backing some of the bigger singles. That's the point. So what have we got for Wednesday? So this is the non-Dundalk bet. So 12.50 Newcastle, stand free 18 to 1. 150 Newcastle. This is not an obvious race at all. I like the horse, not the race. Paddy K 20 to 1. It's 14 runners in a donkey classified race at Newcastle. It's not the kind of race that you want to find consistent horses with. I like the horse at that price, so I've stuck it in, even though it's not ideal, because no one is paying anything more than standard terms for that race. So it's 3 places only. 3:30 Hereford, Alco Pop 7 to 1, and then finishing off 4:55 Kempton, Hazif 16 to 1, 20p each way, lucky 15. An additional 50p each way double on Stand Free and Hasif, because they are the two with the best value in the rate in the bet. £7 you bet, Sky best, and then Coral. Coral are second best for this one. So that is bet 1. And then we will scamper into Dundalk, and we are stacked on 3 races at Dundalk. And yeah, so as I said, I've spun the wheel, and we're trying our luck. I can actually pick up the piece of paper. Alright, so first lucky 15. This is the big price lucky 15 at Dundalk. So this is as big as I've got from a price point of view. So we're going 140. We're having another go with Tai Sing Ye. It was 28 about an hour before I did the video, and it's come in. I still think that there's value in that price. That horse runs more good races than bad ones. If it has a good day, we're in luck. If it doesn't, we're out of luck. So Tai Sing Ye 20s, 240 Dundalk, Bucky Larson 22s, 345 Eastern Racer 18s, 515 Macaban City 22. So big prices, the lot of them. If we manage to string together 4 places, it would be all right there. 20p each way, lucky 15. Sky Best, there's one race, and now it completely has escaped me. I think it might be the 240. Is paying 5 on Sky, but everything else is 4. Most bookies are 4, including 365 and Coral, where we'll get best price guaranteed. So my advice is try your hardest if you've got options to make sure you're getting 4 places on these Dundalk handicaps. That really makes a difference. The Sky ones, when they're the odd Sky races where they're going 5 in places, is helpful, but the bigger difference is between paying 3 and paying 4 for the types of horses I'm selecting. So yeah, make sure if you can, you get a bookie paying 4 places. I would be having second thoughts if it's a bookie that's only paying 3 on these Dundalk races. So that's bet 2. Bet 3, almost the same races, but the last leg's a different race. So we've got 140 Dundalk, no speed limit, 9s, 240 Rocky Dreams, 15 to 2, 345 Indian Raj, 18 to 1, 445 Celtic Revival 8s. So much smaller prices across the board for this one. Again, 20p each way, lucky 15. Again, Sky Best 365, Coral next best. £6 you bet, nice and straightforward. And then if you've been paying attention, you probably have no surprises that bet 4 is this. The 3 preferred races with each of the 2 horses in. They're all competitive races, and yeah, you've seen it on here where I can get some magic going at Dundalk. We've had a couple of lovely bets land at Dundalk. Equally, there are days where you walk away with absolutely nothing and nothing gets in the frame. What will Wednesday bring? I don't know, but we'll try our luck. 140 Tai Sing Ye, no speed limit, going on to 240 Bucky Larson and Rocky Dreams, going on to 345 Indian Raj, Eastern Racer. I've done it nice and simple for today's combination bet. So it's all combinations, and it works out as a £6 bet. So it's 15p each way doubles and 15p each way trebles. Sky Best 365 and Coral next best. So yeah, there's nothing late on into the evening at Kempton. There's no saver bet. We are pretty much largely stacked on those free handicaps at Dundalk in the middle of the afternoon. All right, I think that I'm going to leave it there. I obviously rambled on a lot on the review of the year video, and it's really nice to sort of see that a bunch of you appreciate some of the stats and things. I'm trying my best to put out different stats out there because, as I've said so many times, stats are really important, and I'm trying to be honest. I'll give you the good ones and I'll give you the bad ones. If you are sat and you watch tipsters or ask yourself, ask them, can I see your long-term profit and loss? Not what was last week, not what was your biggest win, not last month. What is your long-term profit and loss? That's the stuff you want to be asking yourself. If they don't provide it because they haven't got it, that should be a worry to you to start with. If someone doesn't have, if they are purporting to be some sort of professional person who's making loads of money from betting and they can't give you long-term profit and loss because A, they're not recording it, that's shocking. Because anyone who's making money properly from horse racing will keep up some level of profit and loss. Otherwise, how would they know if they're making money? So ask for a profit and loss. Ask for a long-term profit and loss, not how many points up are you last month. And oh, by the way, did you have a particular win in that year that actually artificially makes your figures look like they're actually a half decent, when in actual fact, if you didn't have a bet on that one specific day, you would be in a pretty poorer situation than the figure suggests. Ask for figures. It's really, really important. And I'm not, and hopefully most of you get this, I'm not saying it because I'm saying, look at my figures, they're the best. I'm really happy with my figures, they're great. But there may well be people out there that can get better figures than me, but ask for the evidence. And that's why, I mentioned on my review video, the OLBG stuff, what's decent in there is, overall, I think it gives anyone on there a favourable position. So if you were using it as a benchmark to say, are you any good? It gives you favourable position because it gives you the best price across not most major bookies, right? When you put the bet on, when you put the selection in. So it does give you a favourable position. So more people will end up on there in profit than they might be in real life. And it's important to look at level stakes profit here, not like, did you just have one massive win? Level stake profit. But the key thing there is it gives you a comparator because you can compare to other people. And that's the challenge sometimes when you're looking at tipster sites and stuff. How do you compare with what is there? And that's why I'm trying to give out multiple variations of my statistics to show you. I was having a conversation with Truth Seeker, I think, in the comments. And one of the things I said there is, actually, if you look last year at my figures, the first half of the year was okay. And we were keeping our head above water, but it was at points, it was a little bit of a struggle. So I was in profit, but you could argue the point, was there a couple of days, if you took them out, how does it look then? And actually the answer would be, it'd be closer to even. The second half of the year last year was particularly good, and that made my overall figures look better. So I'm now back to square one because we are 2023. So what I'll try and do is keep records of both how is this year going, but also what are my cumulative figures. If I was inclined to give you a false truth, I'd go, I had a really good year last year, so I'm just going to make sure those figures stay really, really present in everything I'm doing so everybody thinks I'm having a really good time of it. I'll be really clear with you. In the about of my channel, I'll put cumulative figures. In the actual description that I update every day, I will put the brand new figures in there. And that to me is the most straightforward way of doing it. So I'll have, if you go to the bottom of the description, I'll keep kind of a monthly log. But the figures in terms of as I've been doing last year, where I'll update every day what's the running totals, I will reset that element of it. So the top of the description for 2023, I'll reset that. Because I want to be transparent. So if I'm losing January, February, March, and I might be, I want to be able to be clear and honest with that so people know if they're following what they're following, if that makes sense. All right, I was going to finish and I ended up rambling and I wasn't meaning to. I'm sorry. Right, that's the video. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow night. I'll be back Thursday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night, and then Saturday, Sunday morning. We're back in the usual gig, 5 days a week. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Saturday and Sunday morning. Appreciate everyone's out of sync because we've had Christmas holidays and I was doing different things. but back to the usual schedule: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, Saturday, Sunday morning. Thank you very much. Bye bye.